Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Commonwealth Space Agency. This is Promi, and today we are going to make a rover to survey the Kerbal Space Center grounds. While Jeb was damaging our aircraft in the last episode, Bill and Bob have been getting ready for their survey mission. But before we go to the spaceplane hangar to construct our rover, let's check in with Gene to see what he has for us today. Okay, we have another altitude record prize from the World First Record Keeping Society. Not really relevant to our current mission, and neither are these other two. So we will come back to Gene after this mission. Let's go to the spaceplane hangar. Okay, to begin our rover, we are going to start with a structural piece. We have one of these long I-beams. Now this rover is going to be, it's going to have an exterior seat for Bill to drive, and then Bob will have a science cabin on the back. So let's start with the cabin. We use a Mark 1 lander can. Stick it on the back there. Let's change our flag from the Commonwealth flag to Space Agency. Now let's rotate this so that it's oriented properly. Turn on snapping. Oops. Okay. Now that's upside down, so let's turn it around. And we probably want him to be able to see out the side. Seeing out the front, we'll probably just see some structural pieces. And we don't want the ladder on the front either, so we're going to turn it sideways, like so. Let's take it up, like that, and forward, just like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now for our propulsion, we don't have solar panels or RTGs yet, but I have these custom parts I have made, or gas generators. Felt like something that was missing from KSP. I'm not much of a coder, so these are basically just jet engines that have zero thrust and a fairly beefy alternator. And so that will be sufficient to power our wheels. Let's put a little fuel tank on here, and something to make the front look a little nicer. I think one of these, yes. Okay, let's move this up. So we have our beam on the bottom. And now we need a place for Bill to sit. So I'm going to make a little platform here. I want to get it a little high, but not still in the middle. That should be alright. Now let's get command seats. There will only be one Kerbal up here, but put 2 seats anyway. So we'll have a total capacity of 3. And should be spaced far enough apart. Let's put some side panels on here. Give Bill a little bit of protection if this thing rolls over. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Do it like that, and then translate down. Turn snapping off. That, and let's rotate it a little bit, like so. Bring it in. That looks about right. There, maybe a little more. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's have another panel back here. fill in the space a little bit. Just like that. There we go. I think this space is a little open. I could probably afford to offset this whole business back. Still on snapping. Turn snapping off. And that's not the right part. That's the right part. Till something like there. Let's move this one as well. Maybe looks good. Okay, it seems to be coming along. So let's add some wheels here. Fairly necessary for a rover. Put them on like this. Now that will obstruct both our window and our ladder. So we'll move them back. Alright. Let's put some more on the front here. Them oriented properly. There we go. Move them down. No. Okay, Control Shift Z does not work for redo. That would be nice to have a redo rather than just an undo. So let's fix what we've messed up here. Okay, duplicate those, put them here, rotate this way. Snapping off, translate down. I don't want them floating because that's a little silly. Just want enough clearance and then to have the wheels touching the fuel tank so it's believable. Okay, I'm going to move this whole business down so I can align the back wheels with what I've done with the front. Take those down a little bit. It should be enough. Okay. Don't think Bob should have any problem getting in and out. But he will need some instruments to do science with. So add our barometer here and our thermometer here. And I will recess them in like I did on our SA1 Seagull plane. Just makes it look a little nicer. There we go. Let's add an antenna, which we probably will not use, but looks kind of cool anyway. Okay, I don't really like how the top of the can looks here. It won't let me put one of these on the top because technically the back of our beam is attached to the top here, so that node is occupied. But we can surface attach one of these panels, which I will do. I think that looks a little better. Alright, so let's see, we got our fuel, we got our engine, seats, instruments. Oh, wait a minute. I did not mean for symmetry to be on while I was attaching those. So let's fix this up. And then I'll need to recess them in once again. Okay. Now, wonder if there's anything we could do that would look like a instrument. cluster for Bill. Well, this stuff's all pretty big. Struts, maybe? Nope. Little nose cone? Maybe. Maybe. Let's see what we can do here. Attach that like this, and then maybe do some offset shenanigans. Flip it around. So that this part... Oh dear, what? Okay, there we go. That is working correctly. Go back to translation and... Oops. Come on, there we go. Don't want my snapping on. Caused problems last time. Move this in, and... No, that's not quite right. Maybe. If I rotate it a bit like so. And then, no, I want a global transform. Not the greatest looking thing ever, but I think it adds a little something to it. Alright, now let's add some sort of roll cage here. So we don't want a completely open cabin. So put some struts on here like this. I think... no, that's not going to work. Maybe if I start here. Oh. Maybe if I start here. You struts, come on. What's the best way to do this? Okay. Let's try it from here again. Like that, maybe? And I don't have symmetry on. That seems to work though. Let's put symmetry on and do that again. Yep. Okay, there we go. That looks better. Might be clipping into Bill's head though. Don't really want that. Maybe just a single bar. Yeah, let's do the single bar. So not symmetry and turn this on. And let's get this right. Good enough. I think, yes. Okay, there we have it. We have everything we need. Got our science instruments and our fuel and our engine. So let's call this thing the R1 runabout. Save it. And get Bob in the science cabin here. There we go. Let's turn steering off on the back. Give us a little better stability at high speeds. We can always turn that back on if we need to. And let's go meet Bill on the runway. Okay, here we are with Bill on the runway. And there's our Rover. So let's get him over to the driver's seat. Should be able to get in from down here. Yep, there we go. Okay, start up our generator. And half throttle should be enough to keep our electricity up, I think. Just leave that up. Okay, nothing else to do on the runway. Jeb has it done already. But I think we do need some data from the grasslands. We'll just go down here. Okay. So let's do a crew report. You look upon the Space Center and think of all that you will accomplish. Okay, so this is the KSC biome, not grasslands proper. That would be over there. Let's keep that. Let's do a temperature scan. The temperature here on Kerbal's equator is quite warm. Most Kerbals find it pleasant. Pressure scan. The barometric pressure here is typical of sea level on Kerbal. And we'll get Bill out to do quick, or not Bill, Bob. We'll do a quick EVA report. Let's get him on the ground here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. We've chosen a good location for our space center. The land is solid, flat, and green with grass. Good, good. Let's keep that and get back in. Take that, and take that. Store. And get back in. Okay, let's head over to the other Space Center buildings. I think all this driving around and doing the same bunch of experiments at each building will probably be not super interesting, so I will probably speed this section up. Okay, here we are back at our space center, and let's see the results of this mission. Okay, Bill and Bob got lots of experiments done. We got 54.8 science, 98% of our value back. Not sure exactly where you have to go to get 100. Maybe if I recovered it from the launch pad or the runway, I'm not entirely certain. And Bill and Bob both got some experience. Okay, let's head over to see Gene. Same contracts as before. Let's accept the altitude record one. I think so that we can manage to get the most we can out of the record keeping society. We should try to accomplish the altitude records as they come. And Holly is just finishing up her astronaut training. So before we launch a Kerbal into orbit, I think we will make an unmanned sounding rocket to get that 11,000 meter prize. Before we head to the vehicle assembly building, let's go to R&D and see if there's anything we can research. So we have 78 science. All these first tier techs cost 45. So we can choose one of them. But which one? We've got turbine engines. This is turboprops, jet engines, intakes, sort of support pieces for jet engines. Rocket engineering gives us solid fuel boosters, decouplers, and the launch clamps. Vehicle engineering is Rover parts. Don't think we'd do that one. We're just fine with the wheels we have now. Materials science gives us a lot of different structural pieces. Also some fuel tanks. And some larger adjustable gear. And landing struts as well. Some of the universal storage parts. That one could be quite useful. And applied chemistry gives us batteries and life support modules. For our next major mission is going to be launching a rocket into orbit. I think maybe materials science. Maybe rocket engineering? Small decoupler, radial decouplers. Don't think I actually need those to get into orbit. They could be useful. Could always do turbine engines to build a more powerful plane for Jeb, which I'm sure he'd just proceed to break. The batteries are quite useful as well. I think I'll go with material science. Yeah, it gives us a stack decoupler. Lots of good parts, so we'll get that. We can't unlock anything else right now, but off of material science you can see we got polymers for parachutes, compact tools for Kerbal attachment system parts, and alloys, which gives us fairings, more structural pieces, larger fuel tanks, and up here we have field experimentation, which I believe is mystery goo, which I'll need the applied chemistry for. So that's probably going to be our next goal, get applied chemistry and then get field experimentation. So let's close this. Just going to time accelerate here. Let the sun go down and come back up, so we have a nice day ahead of us. And all our crew and engineers can rest up. Okay, there we go. New day has begun. We'll head to the VAB. Okay, here we are in the VAB. I'm just gonna make a quick little sounding rocket here. So we start with the we will start with the solid fuel booster. This will be real simple. And let's see, what else do we need? We need to put a probe core on here. And we will need some structural pieces to smooth it out a little bit. And probably a parachute so we can recover this thing afterwards. So let's put this on here. And I'm going to sink the core in a little bit. Make it look a little nicer, like that. Okay. Now with the parachute, I can't actually surface attach this on top of our probe core. So I'm going to do something a little sneaky by taking one of these structural pieces. And no, I only want one. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put that there and then put the parachute on the side. Now what I'm going to do here is, with snapping on, I'm going to translate this into the middle and rotate it around. Translate it back. Aha. Now we have a parachute sticking out of the top. Let's position that with snapping off. Something like that. There we go. Now this thing will probably spin around like crazy without any kind of stabilization. So I'm gonna put some fins on the back here. Just going to use some of these simple wing parts. Use trilateral symmetry. Like that. Moving them back just a little bit more. Make sure this thing's nice and stable. And I'm not sure if we will be in any new biomes, but just in case, let's stick our thermometer and barometer on here as well. So let's see. Why can I not see? Okay, there we go. Huh. For some reason I can't see it when it's here. Interesting. Well, I'll just stick it on the side then. Right there. Pressure on the other side. And as with the previous two crafts, we will bring them in just a little bit. There we go. Okay, that was nice and quick. Let's give it proper flag. And we'll call this the L1 Firecracker. Okay, save it. Now, we only want to go up to 11,000 meters and not escape the atmosphere because we want to milk the record keeping society for all the records that they want to keep offering us. So, first off, let's lower the thrust to about 20%. That is 100% super overkill for something of this size. And lower the fuel to about 150 units. Okay. So let's save that. And off to the launch pad we go. Okay, here we are on the launch pad. No new signs to get here. So 3, 2, 1, and launch. Oh, parachutes. Not in the right stage, but we can fix that. I think it's real chute that makes it not deploy automatically. Or sort of a safety so it won't deploy on the ground. I don't actually think we'll get any science out of this, since the high atmosphere, I'm pretty sure, starts a lot higher than 11,000 meters. Almost there. Why do we not have it? What? She's an altitude of 11,000 meters. Huh. Does it have to be manned? That's a little silly. We're risking our Kerbals. Well, I guess that may be the case. Well, anyway, we'll follow this thing down and recover it. Let's just speed this up a bit. Make sure it stabilizes. Hopefully we don't lose any of our wings to aerodynamic stresses. Let's deploy our parachute. Speed it up again, and fully deployed. Oh, there we go. There we go. Craft is intact. Let's recover that and take a better look at that contract. Okay, so we got, what did we get? 98% back. The tiniest bit of science. And yes, okay, let's check out the contract. Active. Altitude. Launch a new vessel and set altitude record of 11,000. Doesn't say anything about it having to be manned. Curious. Huh, okay. Well, I guess it will. So, it seems the record-keeping society is not satisfied with our probe core. It wants to see an actual Kerbal break that record. Let me think what I want to do. So let's go back to mission control. I think we can probably send Jeb on another aircraft mission. You know, you can set the new 11,000 meter record and also do one of these at the same time. We have visual surveys. Let's see. Take a crew report at the designated. So 18,000. Okay, below 19,000 meters. And then there's temperature scans. We can only take one of these, so I guess the temperature scans, it has a bigger completion bonus. Okay, so Jeb, in our next episode, Jeb will set the 11,000 meter record in an airplane, and also take some temperature readings of Rub Rod's periphery. So we'll accept that. So that didn't go entirely as planned, but I hope you enjoyed this. So before I sign off, I want to note that I'm still working on perfecting, or not perfecting, but making my audio quality satisfactory. I'm still not entirely satisfied with it. I'm still learning how to properly use the filters in my recording program. And also, I am aware that my keyboard is extremely loud. It's a mechanical keyboard using the cherry blue switches, which are the very clicky ones. I'm going to look into maybe replacing it with one with the red key switches. Those are linear and they don't have the clicky sound. And I'll also see if I can maybe install some O-rings to soften the sounds of when the keys bottom out. Anyway, with that, this has been Promi. Thanks for watching.